Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A Mummer Story. I got with me today Nathan Renson of the defending two-time champion South Philly String Band.
Yes, sir. What's up?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. So, tell me about how did you get involved in the Mummers?
So, loaded question to start. I got a bit of a long story, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So, I had always seen the string bands in the local parades and stuff. I live in a town called Delanco, and it's pretty small, but we had like a Memorial Day parade and 4th of July and stuff like that. And we go to Riverton and see those parades. And the thing that always stuck out to me was the string bands. Obviously, they're the best part of any parade. So I'd always sit down and wait for them to come by. And then it wasn't, I feel ashamed to admit this, it wasn't until recently I actually knew that there was an entire parade just for the Mummers. And it was right in my back door and I had no idea. So two friends of mine asked if I wanted to go to the parade in 2020. And I was like, absolutely, yeah. So we went and checked it out. And that was an experience I'll never forget. That was the first time I got to like see it all in the flesh. So we got done the parade and I looked over to my friend and I was telling him, I was like, if I could be in that, then I don't care what I do as a job. Like I could be living in an office, like doing the most boring thing ever, but that's all I want to do is that. And so that summer, it was May or June of 2020, I posted a video of myself. I did an arrangement of When You're Smiling, and I had three of myself in my backyard. And then Dave Grzybowski texted me on Instagram and asked if he could repost it on the association. And I was absolutely, yeah, sure. So he went and did that. And then within a couple days, it got like 15 or 20,000 views on Facebook because the association's a huge page. And from then I got a couple of requests to come sit in for a bunch of different bands. And I ended up making my way to South Philly and I just kind of I felt it, within like the first couple of notes that we played of Powder Your Face with Sunshine was the first song I played with them. I knew it felt like home. That's where I needed to be.
Right. So you didn't have family or anybody that was in the Mummers. This was just something that I guess maybe you stumbled upon, you seen, and it was just a perfect fit for you, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, I was a complete outsider, but I fit in as well as anybody else would.
So why did you choose South Philly String Band?
Well, one reason is the parade in 2020, because I was there in person. I saw the bands perform, and that was my favorite performance. And I don't like just the level of musicianship that we have at South Philly is something that I really was looking for. Because previously I had only had like my school band programs, and like stuff like that, like all South Jersey, like little like extra bands. But that was like the most top-notch thing I could like envision myself in, and that's why I picked it.
Cool. So there was no parade last year. So was this year your first parade?
Yeah, this is my first parade.
All right, let's talk about your first parade. I can only imagine. So again, you're seeing something like you fell in love with it, and you're getting ready for your first parade. You've practiced all year long. Now the time is coming, man. You guys are the next band up at the judging area. What's going through your mind? How much adrenaline is flowing through that blood there?
Wow, it's almost indescribable. I didn't think it would be as crazy as it was, because you hear from everybody like, don't look at the lights, don't worry about the lights. But like I was in marching band, I still am, so like I'm used to that. That's not a huge thing for me. But going up, you're behind the props, and they start announcing that your band's coming up, and then all of a sudden, all the confidence that I had just kind of dwindled into like nervousness, and I was just it all like hit me at the same time. And then you could ask anybody within like 20 feet of me. I was huffing like a bull. I was just like getting all into it. But man, as soon as we started, it was all that adrenaline and nervousness was channeled right into just what we got to do.
Very cool. So you got into South Philly String Band. You're again, you're getting ready to it's parade day. what kind of advice was given to you prior? I mean, it's showtime now, you know what I mean? But did anybody, who was that person that gave you the advice and what was it?
Well, like I said, like everybody tells you don't look at the lights, and everyone says like don't worry about the cameras, don't worry about this. I think the thing that really stuck with me though was our music director Lou. It was like 2 minutes before we went on, and I was started overthinking a part of our show, and I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, do we end this on beat 3 or beat 4?" And without answering, he looked at me and he was like, "Stop it. Stop, like, don't even think about that right now. You're thinking way too far into it. Just do what we've been doing." And I didn't think about it, and we all did it at the same time. It's just don't overthink it. That's my downfall.
Who was that? Who you say the person's name was?
Lou Polina,
Luke.
our music
Okay.
director.
So, what's your favorite thing about being in the Mummers?
It's kind of hard to boil it down to one thing. I'd just say like the overall happiness of one, the people in like the clubs, about like just enjoying what they're doing, and two, the enjoyment of the people around, like whenever we play anywhere. That's why I love being on the end of the blocks that we have, because I'm right up against the people and everybody's faces just light up, especially the little kids. It's the best when we have the parades at the shore, and all the little kids wanting to come up and get pictures, and it's just the happiest thing. It's there's just a lot of happiness going around.
So, did you do any marshalling prior to this, or were you just straight into the to bands?
No, my first year was playing. I That was all I wanted to do. I had my heart set on playing the hardest stuff I could, you know. So I didn't do any martial, and it was just playing.
Cool. So it was mentioned that I'm hearing before you get into the bands, there's a test you have to take.
Mhm.
Since you're new, could you explain to everybody what's the process of this test and just to get involved in the bands?
So I'm sure that each band has a different version of their test. But the kind of gist of it is you take whatever instrument that like you want to be tested on, and you want to be able to play with that band, and then play through a couple songs, usually like of different styles, meaning like one fast one and one slow and like that kind of stuff. And then just like see if you can hang. If you just gotta like make sure that you can keep up, and then at that point everybody will grow the way they do. So they just kind of like make sure you can do it, basically.
It always amazes me how, I mean, because even if I'm in a car, like and I'm trying to read something like that, and the car is bumping around, it's often tough to stay focused and stay on that line. How do you guys do it? Like, some of you guys, I've seen some of the the moves. You'll do a dip, you'll do a sway. How do you stay on track?
Well, for me personally, I pick up music pretty quickly. That's my one passion in life is music. And one thing that I'm lucky enough to have is the ability to memorize music to a certain degree. So when it comes to this, like we have 4.5 minutes of music, um, I learn how it goes just like any other song. Like you know the words to your favorite song. It's the same exact thing for me, but with notes and I'm playing in time with everyone else. So it gets to a point where I don't have to look at the book anymore. So like when we went out to perform, I actually had the walk-off tune on. I didn't have any of the show music on because I had it in here. And then from there, you just got to make sure that you can still do those like fingerings that you have to do while you're playing, and also the drill at the same time. That's what kind of threw me for a loop to begin, was trying to make sure that I'm doing the right spin at the right time, or that I'm using the right foot, and also playing the music that we have.
And the tough part to me would be the choreography part of it. I mean, you guys are like in sync. Everyone's doing the same move at the same time, and South Philly. I mean, hey, two-time defending champions, and you guys are always the top. 1 through 3, maybe 1 through 4 each year, and rightfully so. With that being said, each year, a lot of people haven't won championships in the Mummers in a long time. Some say, maybe it's the judge and maybe it's not. But as a viewer at home, right? These people, like, oh my God, I can't believe they won. Like I thought so much, these guys were a little bit better than these guys were. So it comes to the judging. How do
Yeah.
you feel? How do you feel the judging is with the mummers?
I feel like to a degree there is some like subjective things. Like maybe you did have a judge that likes this style better than this, or they like the way that this color looks during that day, like that time of day. So there is a level of like individuality, but for the most part, like similar to marching band, like you have criteria that they're judging how well did you do in that, like individually as a band. So I think that as as a like committee, the judging committee, I think that they do a good job. And obviously, yeah, we won. Yeah, you did a great job now. But I think in general everything's fair.
You're in your first parade. You're waiting for that news about how you guys finished, and the news comes out that you guys obviously had won again, and rightfully so. This year, you guys were spot on.
Thank you.
What's your reaction?
Oh, it was nuts. We were all in the hall in our club, and our captain Denny came out and he started giving this speech, and I wasn't sure at the beginning of it whether we had pulled it or not. But once he let us know, it was like another world in there. Immediately, like 2 seconds in, I was already slipping on the floor because there was just liquid everywhere. Everybody was freaking out. Everyone was jumping around. It was like an earthquake. But that was one of the best feelings ever. That was just you're surrounded by all your friends, and you just got the best news that you could have gotten that day. You know,
Everything that you've went
yeah,
through your marching band years into, oh my God, I want to do this. Was it worth it?
100%. I definitely have to thank my parents because I only just recently got my license in my own vehicle. So before that, my mom and dad were both driving me here and there, all like 2 or 3 times a week. Got to go to practice, got to go to jobs. So without them, I wouldn't been able to put it all together. So I definitely thank them very much. And yeah, 100% worth it. If I would recommend this to anybody who has any slight idea of wanting to do it.
So, is there anybody that you wanted to give a shout out to for everything you travel? Just a shout out in general. Time is yours.
Huh. Um, well, definitely my parents. Um, I'm gonna say John Keane from, I believe he's in Quaker City. He's one of the people who helped me get started. Um, Dave Grzybowski, obviously, for giving me that little boost. Those two really helped me with finding out like the objectives of each band and what each one's about, and like the skill levels and this and that. They really helped me find which place would have been best for me, and they're definitely right. So in the mum world anyway, those two guys got it together for me.
Cool. I have a request. You have your instrument with you? Could you play a tune for us?
I do have my instrument. Yeah.
Oh, we got a first. Here we go. As a matter of fact, you mentioned you played a song, right? For your video filming that.
Hmm.
Let me hear you go to town on that, brother.
All right.
Hold on, before you go anywhere, you're gonna make a lot of women fall in love. Are you single?
I am not single, guys. I am
All right,
sorry.
girls. So forget about it. Don't. This ain't Richie Cunningham from Happy Days doing this. Leave him alone. He's spoken for.
So, as for my song that got me here is "When You're Smiling."
Hey, hey, I'm going on record saying you're better than Ryan McKelvey.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
So, you ready for some? I started doing a little bit of trivia. Well, not trivia. I call it like a little Philly trivia, though. You ready for it?
I'm probably gonna bomb the Jersey guy, but I'll give it
Oh,
a shot. I'll give it a
all
shot.
right. Philadelphia has been known for numerous things, whether it comes from food, places, whatever, etc. And lately, there's been some controversy. Let me ask you this question: which one's better? Philadelphia Veterans Stadium, 700 level, or Lincoln Financial Field?
Oh man. I do not have very much to base this on, so I'm just gonna say Lincoln Financial because I know that place more. So I'm just gonna go with that.
You're not familiar with Veterans Stadium.
No.
We might not let you cross the bridge back over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's less $5 that I have to spend. So I mean,
We might have to stop this and redo it. When it comes to the Jersey Shore and Wildwood specifically, it's always been a controversy between Sam's and Max Pizza. Who's your favorite?
see, this is the kind of stuff that's gonna get me thrown off the internet. You know, this is what's gonna get me fired. I'm gonna get kicked out of the band.
Why? It's Sam's or Max. Hold on.
Sam's has always been good to me. So
Yeah. See? I mean, think about it. Sam's Pizza, you got the lines down the street, right? I mean, as soon as they open up, and Max, listen, I may have had Max maybe once or twice. It's a good pizza, but it's just that one ingredient or one whatever. As a matter of fact, since Sam's had that fire, I don't even think it tastes the same as it used to before.
so they had him beat by a couple notches before then.
Yeah, probably. So, favorite shore destinations?
Like businesses or
Just in general.
although I'd only been there once, I liked Brigantine because it was kind of like quaint and kind of out of the way. But I went there once with my friend for like a week. It was really cool. And what's also cool is you have like Atlantic City right by there. So if you get bored of not doing a whole lot, then you just drive like 20 minutes and get there. So I think that's a nice place to be if you haven't been.
Let me see. Is it Budweiser? Budweiser. Does it taste great or is it less filling?
Now I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm 17.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll hit you another one. Philly cheesesteaks, with or without?
With or without?
Like, do you like cheese on it? Without cheese? With cheese? With cheese?
I usually like the older I've gotten, the more my tastes have changed. So I'll kind of go for like anything they've got. Um, like even the stuff that seems like maybe it shouldn't be there. Like, you know, I know some people like peppers and stuff, like actual like sliced peppers. But yeah, pretty much just anything. I'll just take like whatever they got.
Very cool. Well, Nathan, it was great having you, and I'm glad that we were able to get some time to reconnect here. And yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in 2023. Maybe a three-peat.
Yeah, you'll never know.
All right, brother. Well, you take care. Thanks for coming in today, and we'll see you guys next year.
Well, thanks for having me.
Not a problem.